Hello, everyone. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Fulu, and this is Get Candid with Fulu, where we talk about everyday life issues. I bring in my personal opinion and that of any invited guests on the show. On today's episode, I will be giving a part two of some of the culture shock that I experienced here. And this part two really is based on some comments that I got on my initial video about the culture shock. So let's say that's part one. So the first one was somebody commented about the fact that she still can't get over her children's schoolmates calling her by her first name. And that, I think, was a huge one for me as well. You know, people that are much younger, people that are like babies, toddlers, 2, 3, 4 year olds calling you by your first name. I think that part was a little bit, I mean, honestly, right now, it still gives me the EBGBs. Like, oof, you know, why would you call me by my first name? I mean, it's my name. I understand that. But culturally, it's not right culturally where I'm coming from. But the honest truth is that even here, there are people who this is all they know. They're American, true and true, that do not do that. That still feel like they cannot call people that are much older than them, like their friends' parents, by their first name. Because one of my coworkers was telling me about that, how one of his friends was asking him to call his father by the first name. And he's like, no, I can't do that. I'll call him Mr. This. I'm not going to call him his first name. So that is a big one. I remember that one of my friends, she has a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and she would say hi to Folu, or, you know, just mention my name like that. And where I'm from in Nigeria, that kind of thing, you say hello to Auntie Folu. That's what you typically say. So he was doing me as if I should say Miss Folu to you, please. You know? Because really it's Miss Folu to you. It's not Folu. You can't call me Folu. You know what I mean? So that is a huge one. And that part, I mean, you kind of just have to get with the program and just let it go. I mean, what can you do? If it's at work, it's a different thing, but it's like when it's out of work, out of like a professional setting, and it's just, you know, there, just maybe someone that you met that is a friend or in church and things like that. The second one that somebody commented about was about pets, how much people love their pets here. Personally, me, I'm scared of pets. Cats for me is a no. And I think part of it is because I had an experience with the cats, and I still have the scar here of a scratch that I had there. My grandmother used to have cats when we were growing up, and I didn't have a problem with the cats. And matter of fact, I think we had one while we were growing up too, and I didn't have a problem. But after I got that scratch from the cats, so me and cats right now, we are not... we don't have a good relationship. Dogs, for me, I'm just scared of dogs. I mean, I see some dogs, I'm like, oh my God, that dog is really, really cute. This one that I see anytime I'm going to work or I'm going to church, that the owner walks around here. And that dog is so cute. But you will never see me pet a dog, or you never see me, you know, hold a dog, because I'm just scared of dogs, point blank, period. Like if you have a dog, I'm probably not going to want to come to your house unless you can tell me that you will keep the dog inside. And even then, I feel like it's like an imposition. So people really love their dogs here. As I commented on that person's post, I have heard of someone wanting to take money out of their 401k, which is their retirement account, for a surgery on their dog. And for me, that was extreme, because like... you do the surgery on this dog, what happens to your retirement later in life? But again, some of them see it like their children, like they're like, yeah, you see people say, I'm a dog mom. In Nigeria, you cannot say you're a dog mom. Dog mom? Are you? It's like your parents have to say, God forbid. How can you be a dog mom? I reject it for you in Jesus' name. A dog mom. You will be a human mom in the name of Jesus. It's us, not a dogmo or for my fur baby. All that. So yes, people really, really, take their pets as like their friends, their children. So that is a big deal here. Which, I mean, bingo. You see. Bingo walking around the place, and who cares about. I mean, I guess there are a few people that like their dogs too, very much like that in Nigeria. But somebody did ask me how I felt about my move here. Like, am I enjoying it or do I miss Nigeria? That's a very good question. I am grateful for my move here to the United States. For many reasons, many reasons. One of them would be that I truly believe that some things have changed in my life just because I moved here. Some of them I might not be able to say online just because they're very, very personal. But, even professionally, like in my career, God has granted me some speed that I never encountered back in Nigeria. Also, I've met people that have changed my life forever in this country. I also met people that changed my life forever in Nigeria. But just all in all, with everything going on in Nigeria right now, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to relocate here when I relocated here. I could have been in Canada as well. I don't think I ever mentioned that. I could have been in Canada because me and one of my friends, we actually did the whole Canadian immigration, and I did get it. But because I got married, United States was the option at that point in time. And I'm thankful that I had those two options, because either way, even if I did not get married, either way, I would not have been in Nigeria at this time. And for those who are in Nigeria, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Obviously, if you're able to make it work, more power to you. But I just think that, so many things that are going on in that country just makes you yearn for more. And especially when you start having children, it's like, whew, do I want my children to grow up in this? Do I want them to grow up with thinking that all of this that's going on is normal, And no, that most people would say no. So many people that actually relocate, it's actually for their children. I know this, people say that, but I truly believe that many people, they already feel, I already know how to maneuver my way and all that, but I want to give my children a bit of a head start. If they were not born abroad, let me try and at least, give them a bit of, a head start in life, and not to think that this is the norm. And also, when I think about some things, like when I went back home last year, there were a few things that, each time I go back home, I'm just like, you know what? Thank God, truly. Because I honestly consider it a privilege. And for those of us that are immigrants, that's relocated out of the country, there's a thing about us when we work harder. We work like 2-3 times harder than our contemporaries, because we know where we're coming from and we know what we're looking for. We know what our goal is. We know what we're trying to achieve. So it's like, you know what? I got to work hard. I got to make sure that I am able to, to make it here. Right? Now, another question was, am I ever going to go back to Nigeria? Never say never. I won't say no. I won't say yes. I don't know. I really don't know. God knows the end from the beginning. So he's the one that knows whether or not I'm going to go back home to Nigeria or I'm going to stay here. But for now, everything in life is in stages. This is the stage I am right now, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it happened. I'm grateful that I moved here. So that was just a brief interlude before I continue some of the culture shock. This topic is probably not going to end, because there are going to be different things that I'm going to remember and note down, and maybe another topic again, another episode again, I'll just interject with another culture shock. So again, just come along on the ride with me, and please, as I said, always share your own opinion. Driving in America was it took some getting used to. I've been driving in Lagos. And in Lagos, you know how everybody is just crazy. Like, you gotta be crazy to be able to drive in Lagos, because there's no, I mean, when I went back to Lagos last year, I could not drive because I was just scared. Just to drive from on that link bridge from Lekki to Ikoyi was a big deal for me. I was just scared because the way I'm doing now, when I'm in the car, carrying my leg up as if a car is coming, even the person driving is always scared of me. Like, calm down, nothing is about to happen. So, having driven like that in Lagos and coming to America to drive on those wide freeways, I'll be driving and I'll be driving in such a way that my husband will tell me, nobody is coming on your lane. Focus on your own lane and just drive. If somebody is coming on the lane beside me, I'm thinking that they are coming in front of me, I had to, unlearn that aspect of driving for myself. Because here's the thing, when we were in the UK, I never drove. Because again, the British roads are still smaller, unless you're on the freeway. They are smaller and all that. But here, even like street roads are wide. They are dual laned, one lane is 3 or 4 lanes, So that took some getting used to for me. Just being able to drive, the stop signs, making sure that you are yielding where you're supposed to yield, all those good stuff, I mean, driving test was easy, past that one, but just getting used to it was a big deal for me. Another one is the delineation between co-workers and friends. Coming from Nigeria, most of my friends were people that I met at work. Except, of course, people that we went to school together, secondary school, university, and things like that. But every other friend I have, or I had, and still have right now, are people that I met at work. That's it. And you become so close. Like, my first godchild or goddaughter was somebody that we met at work. We met at work, we gelled, and we became really close. Another one of my friends, I actually gave her child a name when the child was born. I gave her Ewaoluwa. So that's somebody that we met at work. So for me, I went to work with the impression that, anybody that I gel with, we become friends. We have each other's numbers, we can visit each other and things like that. But that was not the vibe I got. The vibe I got was more of like, okay, you work together does not mean that you're friends. We are co-workers. That's what we are. If I leave this department or you leave the department, that's the end. If we see each other maybe on our way out or something, we can say, hi, how you doing? Oh, been a minute. How's everything going? And that's it. And that kind of was a little bit different for me because I thought that we would be friends. Now I'm not saying that's not absolute, because I have a couple of people that we started off as co-workers and we are friends. I mean, there's one that doesn't even work with us anymore and we're still friends. We still see each other outside of work, obviously, because she's not working with us anymore. So you get a few of those that you form some connections. I mean, I have another friend that I hope that we're friends, because I feel like we're friends. Now, I will be surprised if after God knows how long, maybe if we change departments and things like that, if we don't keep in touch, I will be very surprised, because I will try, and maybe if it doesn't work, then that's it. Because I had a particular one that when we first got there, when I first started working there, we really, really gelled. Like, she would tell me stuff and things like that. And when she left the firm, I would reach out to her, send her happy birthday, and I was not getting anything back from her. So I figured, she's gone. So it's like, leave me alone. We don't know each other anymore. If we don't, So myself, I jejely backed off and I stopped reaching out to her. So that is another thing, just those connections that you form. Because again, I mean, unless you're going maybe your place of worship and things like that, where do you really have the opportunity to make more friends? People that, especially if you're new somewhere and you haven't had, and you don't have friends there, it's a little tough. It's either you meet them at work, or maybe your place of worship. That's really about it. So that was a bit of a different one for me as well. I mean, I have a friend she's Nigerian, and I met her at work. So we're close. I mean, we don't work in the same department anymore, but we're still close. And that's mainly because she's also Nigerian, and we hit it off. We hit it off from the get-go. But yes, that's it from me on the culture shock of this episode, of episode 2 of Culture Shock. Again, please share your experiences, because the 2 first ones I talked about on this episode were from your comments, and they really resonated with me. So again, that's it from me on today's episode of Get Candid with Folu. Please like, share, subscribe, email me at getcandidwithfolu@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at getcandidwithfolu. Until next time, you stay safe and have a great day. Bye-bye.